in their meat. What the fuck? What? You're not even gonna know I said that because I'm cutting it out. Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. I know that I haven't read a lot in the past year, but there are a lot of books that I would like to get to. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you my Summerween TBR. I'm going to try my best. I've never been really good at readathons because, I mean, probably the most I can bang out is like one book in a week. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I want to try and participate in Summerween. I did try last year. I have a failed Summerween reading vlog up in my channel last year, so you can watch that one. Don't mind that completely empty cubby because we're also going to talk about my summer hopefuls. And it's pretty much all the books that I had in that little cubby. So I'm going to start off with the Summerween prompts. If you don't know, Summerween is a readathon created by Gabby from Gabby Reads and Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, and they do this, they've done it every year for I think the past year, no, every year for the past like 3 years, and they've also included like Camp Weekendween and Winterween and Spring Flingoween. But I am really excited for Summerween this year, and I'm going to try my hardest to participate in it. So I'm going to read you the prompts. Read a book in the dark or at night. Easy to do. I do that all the time when I am reading. Read a thriller, another easy thing to do because that is all that I read. All of these prompts these 3 prompts I'm going to try it to stick to one book because like I said, if I try to do more than 1 or 2 books for a readathon, I'm setting myself up for failure. So read a thriller. Is it even considered a thriller? Is it considered a thriller? The book, I chose a book already. But I don't know if it's considered a thriller. I've already failed. Goodreads says that this book that I want to read is fantasy, horror, fiction, historical fiction, paranormal, young adult, historical adult, feminism. Nowhere in there does it say thriller. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to use this book anyways. So read a thriller, which I'm doing very loosely, and I'm going to do horror instead. Read a book set in the fall. I'm not sure if this book is set in the fall, but it does have bare trees. So I'm going to take that as like fall, winter. Very loose. It's like my own Summerween here. And then read a book with orange or black on the cover. So for those 3 prompts, I am going to read Year of the Witching. This was kindly gifted to me by Kelly, my friend Kelly. I met Kelly on Haley Hughes' Patreon. We had a Secret Santa gift exchange, and Kelly was so kind. This was one of the books that she got me, and I want to make sure that I prioritize it and I read it. So this is the book that I am going to read for Summerween. So read a book in the dark or at night. Read a thriller. Meh. Read a book set in fall. Meh. I'm taking this one because it is like bare trees. Okay, so I'm going to take it. Read a book with orange or black on the cover. And then the last prompt is read a graphic novel. Oh, I never told you what this is about. This is going to take me so long. I might have to stop and charge my camera. Let me try. So this one says, a young woman living in a rigid, puritanical society discovers dark powers within herself in the stunning feminist fantasy debut. Ooh. It's not a thriller. In the lands of Bethel, where the prophet's word is law, Emmanuel Moore's very existence is blasphemy. Her mother's union with an outsider of a different race cast her once proud family into disgrace. So Emmanuel does her best to worship the Father, follow holy protocol, and lead a family of submission, devotion, and absolute conformity like all the other women in the settlement. But a mishap lures her into the forbidden dark wood surrounding Bethel, where the first... Okay, I only charged this about 26%, so I'm going to try and rush this as fast as I absolutely can. I think I left off at, but a mishap lures her into a forbidden dark wood surrounding Bethel, where the first prophet once chased and killed 4 powerful witches. Their spirits are still lurking there, and they bestow a gift on Emmanuel. They bestow a gift on Emmanuel, the journal of her dead mother, who Emmanuel is shocked to learn once sought sanctuary in the wood. Fascinated by the secrets in the diary, Emmanuel finds herself struggling to understand how her mother could have consorted with the witches. But when she begins to learn grim truths about the church and its history, she realizes the true threat to Bethel is its own darkness, and she starts to understand that if Bethel is to change, it must begin with her. So, this is what I am planning to read for Summerween. So, why do I keep saying that? Yeah, because that's the way to say it. Summerween. Anyways, the last prompt is read a manga, graphic novel, or novella. And for this one, I am going to read Blood on the Tracks, Volume 1. I've heard a lot of people rave about this and read it and really enjoy it. So I got the first one, and this is the perfect time to read it. So that's it for my Summerween TBR. It's just literally going to be these two if I can bang out this one, because it seems slightly chunkier, but that's okay. So I am going to read these 2 books for Summerween, and then the rest of this is going to be my summer hopefuls. So these are books that I want to prioritize this summer. So from now until autumn, I'm hoping I can get through all these books. But these are mostly books that were gifted to me, and I want to read them because 4 minutes? Are you serious? I have 4 minutes left in my SD card. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this again. Okay, I got through my Summerween books, and next I'm gonna get through my summer hopefuls that I want to go through. A lot of them, like I said, were gifted to me, and I want to get through them. But before I tell you that, I have to clear my SD card and charge my camera once again. So I think I did it. I think I did it. Okay, so my summer hopefuls that I want to get through, again, like I said for the 3rd time, that these are books that were gifted to me, and I want to prioritize them. I would have gotten them done already if I wasn't in such a slump this past year. Not even going to get into it, but I'm super thankful for the people who took the time to think of me and send me these books, and I want to get through them. So first on my list, and oldest on my list because it's coming up to a year, I want to read The Honeymoon by Rona Halsall. This was gifted to me by... Oh, I didn't keep it in here. This was gifted to me by my friend Jack from Jack in the Book Stack. She actually purchased this for me as, I believe it was like a wedding gift. She got it for me last August or September, I believe. I think it was August, actually, because I had filmed a video about like thrillers revolving bridal showers, bachelorettes, and things like that. And this was on it, and it was also on my wish list, and she so kindly purchased it for me as like a wedding gift, and now that I'm close to coming up on a year of being married, would like to read this. So this one says, Chloe finally feels like she got her life together after a difficult childhood and losing both parents. She worked hard for the life she loves in lively Brighton, helping people as a physiotherapist? As a physiotherapist. And then she meets the perfect man. It's a whirlwind romance when Dan is handsome. It's a whirlwind romance, but Dan is handsome, funny, and simply the kindest man she's ever met. When she sees him standing by the altar, tears glistening in his eyes, she knows this will be, oh my gosh. I think I've learned how not to read in this past year. When she sees him standing by the altar, tears glistening in his eyes, she knows this will be for always. As they sunbathe on their honeymoon island, laughing over drinks, planning their future with their feet in the sand. Dan jokes that he'd like them to stay there forever. At first, Chloe couldn't agree more, it's tempting to imagine truly leaving her troubled past behind, but as the honeymoon goes on, he becomes increasingly adamant they shouldn't leave. In fact, he won't let her. Sounds so good. So this is, and summer vibes. Summer, beach, islands, yes. Perfect. Next, two that I want to read. These are both from my friend Ruth over at What Ruth Reads on Instagram. You've heard me talk about Ruth before, and I will leave her handle down below. She has the best recommendations, and she is the sweetest person. I love Ruth so much. She did give me this last year as well that I need to get to, and it's How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. She said she gave this one 5 stars, I believe. Ruth, I hope I'm not lying. Did you give this one 5 stars? I think that's what you told me. But, what is wrong with me? Look how cute the back is. I love black and pink together. That's adorable. But I'm super excited for this one. It says, they say you can't choose your family, but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything, and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. Ooh. Yes. So, I'm going to read that one. I love the vibes of this one. Next one, Ruth also purchased for me, or gifted to me for my birthday this year, and that is Taste Like Candy by Ivy Tholen. This is, I believe, a slasher, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can quickly pull it up on Goodreads. Horror, young adult, thriller, fiction, mystery, Halloween. Those are the tags that's under like genres for this one. Seems like it would be quite a quick read. It looks so pretty. I love the colors. This one said, candy is dandy, but the liquor is quicker. It took her parents when she was a teenager, left her tormented by violent ghosts she cannot escape, and forced her to live in constant fear. She thinks she's broken forever, and the people around her worry that she's too far gone to help. After a ghost attack leaves her with what appears to be self-inflicted wounds, Elodie is referred to by Dr. Emery Dick, a psychologist who works with emotionally damaged teenagers. When a shocking encounter during her first session convinces Emery that her ghosts are weird. Put words together. Put letters together. It makes a word. Just go with it. Emery, that her ghosts are real, he offers to rescue her in exchange for the use of her gift. For the first time since her parents' death, she feels like she can't breathe, until one morning when she awakes to find she is not as safe as she thought. A dead man hovers in her living room as having penetrated the perfection. Oh my gosh, this is slightly worrying to me. The protection spells that cover her walls, and it appears someone she knows helped him get in. With the help of a stranger who seems to know more about Elodie than she knows about herself, she must learn the truth that sometimes the living can be more dangerous than the dead. So I got that one. Next, I want to get to Next, I want to read The Last Housewife by Ashley Winsted. I know this was really big last summer, and I want in on it. This was actually gifted to me by Summer from Season Readings. I'll link her channel down below. I was also a part of Gwen from Gwendolyn Kensinger's Patreon, and we also did a Secret Santa exchange in that one, and Summer was my she was my Secret Santa. So this is what she purchased for me, and I was so excited. Honestly, this cover is beautiful, and I've heard great things about this. I also heard trigger warnings for this one, so just be careful. This one says, while in college in New York, Shay Evans and her best friends met a captivating man who seduced them with a web of lies about the way the world works, bringing them under his thrall. By senior year, Shay and her friend Laurel were the only ones who managed to escape. Now, 8 years later, Shay's built a life in a Tony, Texas suburb. What does that mean? What's a Tony, Texas suburb? I'm from New England. I don't know what that means. Could someone explain? What is a Tony, Texas suburb? But when she hears the horrifying news of Laurel's death, delivered, of all ways, by her favorite true crime podcast, Crusader, she begins to suspect that the past she thought was buried in is still very much alive, and the predators more dangerous than ever. Recruiting the help of the podcast host, Shay goes back to the place she vowed never to return to in search of answers. As she follows the thread of her friend's life, she's pulled into a dark, seductive world where wealth and privilege shield brutal philosophies that feel all too familiar. Ooh, this sounds so good. When Shay's obsession with uncovering the truth becomes so consuming that she can no longer separate her desire for justice from darker desires newly reawakened, she must confront the depths of her own complicity and conditioning. But in a world built for men to rule it, both inside the cult and outside of it, is justice even possible? And if so, how far will Shay go to get it? I hear great things about this one. I also hear it is very dark. Trigger warnings on the first page. If you're interested in reading this, please check that out and see if you're able to. But I am super excited about this one. Last book that I got from Kelly is The Blue by Lucy Clarke. Oh, this is another one that just is summer. It's summer. That is summer, and I want to read it. They found paradise. What would they do to keep it? Lena and her best friend Kitty leave home looking for freedom, and that's exactly what they find when they're invited into the Blue, a 50-foot yacht making its way from the Philippines to New Zealand. Manned by a young crew of wanderers, the Blue is exactly the escape they are looking for, and the two quickly fall under its spell, spending their days exploring remote islands and their rum-filled nights relaxing on the deck beneath the stars. Oh, yes, nice. Yet, paradise found can just as quickly become lost. Lena, and Kitty begin to discover that they aren't the only ones with secrets they'd rather run from than reveal. And when one of their new friends disappears overboard after an argument with the other crew members, the dark secrets that brought each of them aboard start to unravel. It sounds good, and it's giving me all the beach summer vibes. So I am prioritizing this one as well. And thank you to Kelly for gifting it to me. Next, I have two books that were gifted to me by Aspen over at Aspen's Archives. Once again, just like many others, you know Aspen. She's a great friend. She's super, super sweet, very thoughtful. I love that we were able to become friends, and I love her content. It is hilarious. It always puts me in a great mood, and you should go follow her. So we did a buddy read of Local Woman Missing in March, and she so kindly gifted me two books. What did she say? She said, "Thanks for buddy reading with me. So glad to have this new friendship." My little heart. But one of the books is The Test by Sylvain Neuvel. I did take this with me to Virginia to try and read it, although I got about 10 pages in, and I just can't get myself to read something. So I didn't end up finishing this in Virginia. And it is a novella, so I do want to knock it out. This I've heard mostly from Haley Hughes. I didn't really listen, like, I haven't heard anybody else talk about this one until Haley Hughes. And then I was super excited for it. And then unfortunately for me, I listened to somebody else who was talking about this book on in their video, and I think it was slightly spoiled for me. I think the plot was pretty much spoiled for me, which sucks because it is only 104 pages. So that really sucks. It wasn't intentional that the person spoiled it, though I was like, oof, that was too much for too much information to give out on a 104 page novella. Anyways, I'm still excited to read this one. It says Britain, the not too distant future. Adair is sitting the British citizen test. He wants his family to belong. 25 questions to determine the worth of his life. 25 chances to impress. When the test takes an unexpected and tragic turn, Adair is handed the power of life and death. But how do you value another person's life when all you have is multiple choice? That sounds great. Loved it. And I heard Haley Hughes just rave about this one, that it was a really good one. So I am still going to read it, even though I'm pretty sure the whole thing has been spoiled for me. But I'm still so... What was that came out of my mouth? I am still excited to read this one. The other one that Aspen gifted to me was Someone Had to Do It by Amber and Danielle Brown. This is a rich people drama, mama drama type of thing, and I ate it up. So I was so excited about this one. This one says Brandy Maxwell is living the dream as an intern at prestigious New York fashion house Simon Van Doren, except living the dream looks more like scrubbing puke from couture dresses worn by hard partying models and putting up with microaggressions from her white colleagues. Still, she can't help but fangirl over Simone's it girl. Who the hell is Simone? Is Simon. Simon's it girl, Taylor. Until one night at a glamorous Van Doren party when Brandy overhears something she shouldn't have and her fate becomes dangerously intertwined with Taylor's. Model and influencer Taylor Van Doren has everything and is this close to losing it all. Her fashion mogul father will donate her inheritance to charity if she fails her next drug test. Oh no, it's about to die. And he's about to marry someone nearly as young as Taylor, further threatening her stake in her father's fortune. But Taylor deserves the money that's rightfully hers, and she'll go to any lengths to get it, even if it means sacrificing her famous father in the process. All she needs is the perfect person to take the fall. I love it. I mean, some people don't like it, some people are over it. I don't think I'll ever be over it. I love me a rich people drama. So I'm super excited to read this one as well. Thank you, Aspen, for gifting these to me. Once again, I have 3 books. Yeah, I have 3 books left to talk about. So I have to charge my camera once more. So I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Hi, it is now nearly 7 hours later. Not even maybe like a second for you. 7 hours later for me. My camera died and took its sweet old time charging up again. We had to go to a graduation party, so I did that. Now we're back. It's about 7 o'clock now. Have a good Simply Spiked lemonade. And I've come to finish this video. So the last 3 books that I'm going to talk about are for books that I want to read this summer. All come from my book bestie Danica over at Danica Reads. Let's start with these. I know I've mentioned these in previous videos. I think my fantasy era video that I made. Unfortunately, half this year hasn't even been my book era, let alone fantasy era. But I'm hoping to kick that soon and pick these up. One of them being one of them being Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This is fantasy. It says Ariadne, Princess of Crete, grows up listening to her nursemaid stories of gods and heroes. When Theseus, Prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the Minotaur, her brother, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat, but an escape. Defying the gods, betraying her family and country, and risking everything for love, Ariadne helps Theseus kill the beast. But will Ariadne's decision ensure her happy ending? And what of... I'm not that great with Greek mythology, so Phaedra, the beloved younger sister she leaves behind. Hypnotic, propulsive, and utterly transporting, Jennifer Saint's Ariadne forges a new epic, one that puts the forgotten women of Greek mythology back at the heart of the story as they strive for a better world. And I'm sorry, but just look how absolutely stunning this is. It's beautiful. So this is one that Danica bought me for Christmas that I need to get to ASAP. Another one being the Atlas 6 by Olivie. Knowledge is carnage, it says in the front. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the six newest recruits has the reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians. I'm sorry, that sounds amazing. I don't know if this is like a trilogy, but I do know that there's a second book out, the Atlas Paradox. So we'll see how I get on with this one before I even think about another like book in a series. And then the last from Danica, and the last that I want to prioritize this summer is The Guest House by Robin Morgan-Bentley. Don't mind. I don't know why, but whenever I feel like something comes from Amazon, there's always like streaks on them. But this one says Jamie and Victoria are off for a last quick vacation before the arrival of their first baby. The remote country guest house Victoria chooses seems like the perfect retreat, miles away from the distractions of work and the regular life, and the older couple that run the establishment, Barry and Fiona, are more than accommodating. But when Jamie and Victoria awake on their first morning, they find the house deserted. Barry and Fiona are nowhere to be seen. All the doors are locked and all their cell phones and car keys have disappeared. Even though it's a few weeks before the baby's due date, Victoria feels the contractions starting. The baby is coming and there's no way out. I feel like, is it just me? Because I don't feel like anybody has talked about this. And I'm super curious to see how I like it. I think the cover is beautiful. So these are 3 from Danica that I want to prioritize as well. So I'm going to end it here because this has probably been the longest video. The longest that it's ever taken me to film a video, not including like vlogs. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who's gifted me books. I'm super thankful and super grateful. I want to prioritize them. I want to get right back into my love for reading and just bang out one book after the other because that's what I enjoy. And I can't wait to just get back in that mindset of doing things that I enjoy and, you know, reading books from people who lovingly and thoughtfully gifted them to me. So thank you to Kelly and to Aspen and to Danica and to Ruth and to Jack for these books. I am super excited to get to them. And yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get back into the groove of things and start maybe doing some like vlogs again. Hopefully that goes well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.